Hello, today I want to show you a beautiful stitch I made myself. It's called in Dutch tweehoog stokje, and in English it's two high double crochet. It's not the treble crochet, I think you call it. It's a different kind of stitch, and I want to show you the result of this two high stitch in I don't know the English name. Het is tweehoog wafelsteek. Wafflestitch maybe. And this is the front and this is the back. And you know it in a little variation. I show you a picture. And this is a long variation. So the blocks are very high, and that's the beautiful stitch I made. And I want to show you how you can make it. I made it with color. It's called Papatia Cottonish, and I made it in one color, and that's in the Dutch company Zeeman. You can buy it. It's, I think you call it bulky yarn. You make it on 7/8 crochet hook, so it's an 8. I don't know in English. I will search for it. It's crochet hook, and you show it here. And I have 8 from this one and 5 from this one. So I will show you how you can make it. And I make a foundation row, and I have the second row is with front post and back post 2 high double crochet. So I will show you that. And then I make this waffle stitch. I don't know in English if you call it waffle stitch, but in Dutch it's called wafelsteek. So that's why I think it's that name. But I will look it up, and I will now give you the name in English. And I will show you how you can make this beautiful stitch in this big waffle stitch. So let's follow my tutorials. So we're gonna start with our foundation row, and I have my stitch markers already here, because I like to use stitch markers for the to see the first one of the row, and then I used green or blue for the good side of my work, and a pinky for the back side of my work. You can use your own colors, but that's how I work today. So we're gonna start with our foundation row. There we go. We're gonna chain 4, and my first chain I'm gonna make like this around my finger, and I pull the yarn one time and put it on my finger, then the second time around the thread and around my finger, pull it through, and there's my first stitch. Easy as that. Then we're gonna make chain 4, and that's the beginning of our foundation row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 is for the height of my stitch, the 2 high double crochet I call it. And we're gonna make our foundation row like this. We're gonna use a multiple of 3, so I'm gonna start with 15 2 high double crochet. So I'm gonna make 15 of them, and I'm gonna show you how. The difference between a double treble crochet or a double treble crochet and the 2 high double crochet is that the stitch I'm going to show you, is connected the one stitch to another. And with double crochet it's all one stitch at a time you crochet, but I connect one with each other. I saw the movie for this stitch with 4 or 5 stitches in the middle, so there was no foundation row, there was no beginning, there was no end, only I saw the stitch 5 time crochet. There was no name for it, so I don't know if there is an English or American name for it. I called it myself. I make myself the name for 2 high double crochet, because you make 2 double crochet, treble crochet in one time, and I connect one with each other, so I can't call it double or treble crochet, treble or double treble crochet, because it's a different stitch because of the connection. And the connection I will explain. Look, excuse me for my English, by the way, because I'm from the Netherlands and I have only 2 or 3 years English, so I have a basic English, but making YouTube tutorials with crochet terms is different than normal English, and my English is not that well, but I try my best and I hope you understand. There we go. We have 4 chains and we yarn over, and here you see I'm gonna make my hook. Here you see our 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We only used from the second stitch, from the second chain, the left thread. So I'm going to say over and over again, we only take our lefty, our left one, and then I mean the left thread of the V stitch from the chain. So every chain is like a V of, yeah, every chain you can see the V. Look, V, 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 and we only take the left thread of the V from the second stitch. So there we go. Yarn over, and only the left one we pull the yarn through is 3. Yarn over, and in the last stitch we also pull the yarn through 1 stitch, and we have 5 on our hook. Important to know for a foundation row is that we make a stitch on the bottom and we make a stitch for row 1. And the bottom stitch you can use 2 times the stitch on the bottom to make a beautiful stitch, and for the row 1 you only make 1 time a stitch, and then you have 1 stitch for the row 1. I explain what I mean when I'm going along, so please watch closely what I'm doing. For the stitch on the bottom, we're gonna chain of a yarn over and only make your stitch again. Make your stitch a little loose, because on the bottom we also need a loose stitch. So make room in your stitch. You see here I have plenty room in the stitch. Yarn over and pull like this with gentle care. Pull the yarn through only 1 stitch. On the bottom of the stitch now you see here a loose 1 stitch. Under these 2 threads we're going to use again, when we finish this stitch and we make a new foundation, again we're going to use this stitch to finish the stitch. You will see what I mean. I'm taking my pinky stitch marker and make it around these 2 threads on the bottom, so you can see on the bottom which stitch you're gonna need to make a second time. So feel free to make a stitch marker or another thread around the 2 threads on the bottom. Yeah, so we pull through 1 to make a stitch, and now we're gonna make the stitch for the row 1, and it's the 2 high double crochet, because we crochet 2 double crochets in 1 time. So yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And in the next stitches I'm going to say yarn over 4 times, so that means yarn over and pull the yarn through 2, and that's 4 times. So now here we see this is the first stitch. It's like a V upside down. You see here 1, 2, 3 and 4, and here you see the long right angle for the stitch is connected with this stitch. Oh, I forgot something. We're gonna use our stitch marker to mark this first stitch. On the upside you see these 2 threads. I make my stitch marker, and that's the first stitch I'm gonna use. The 4 chains I don't use as first stitch. You can use it as first stitch, so then you must make the 4 chain, the 2 loops, and make it the chain for the hook. but I use this stitch as my first stitch, so that's the stitch marker. Now we're going to make our second foundation row stitch, and that's like, here you see our first chain, here you see the second chain. This chain is this thread is connected with this stitch. When you see this thread, there's also a left thread from this stitch, and we're going to use this one to connect this stitch to the next stitch. So that's the difference with the 2 high double crochet. It's connected with each other. Yarn over. You see here the connection with the other stitch. On the left side there's another thread, and you're gonna pull your yarn through this thread. Only one. So we have 3 on our hook. Yarn over. Go to the bottom of your work, and you see the 2 threads from the first stitch you make on the bottom. These 2. You also have your stitch marker, and when you put a stitch marker, when you don't put a stitch marker, you can see the 2 threads of the bottom here. You see here the tail, and above the tail there are 2 threads. These 2. Here we're gonna make another insert to finish this stitch. Look. Insert the hook under the 2 threads here. Only the 2 threads. There he is. So 2 threads. You pull the yarn under these 2 threads, so you finish the stitch. But we must make a new stitch, so yarn over and make room in this this stitch. So yarn over and gently pull the yarn through only one stitch. Then you see you finished this stitch. It's become a beautiful V, and this is a wrinkle around. It's not a stitch yet. So you make a stitch and you finish a stitch. So again, here you have the 2 threads. When you have stitch markers, make a stitch marker around these 2 threads, so you know where to insert your hook for the second time to finish the stitch. So the repeat is, make a stitch for the bottom, make the stitch for row 1, finish the bottom and make a new one. I will show you in a minute what I mean. There we go. Yarn over 4 times to make the 2 high double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2 is 2, is 3, is 4. We have our second stitch for the row 1, and here you see you have 1 finished stitch. I will show you. I make my loop a little bit longer so it's easy to see for you. Here you see the first stitch, here you see the second stitch, and we're gonna finish this stitch and make a new one. And you see here we have a V because it's finished, and here it's like a wrinkle, it's not finished yet. So now I'm gonna show you 3 stitches right behind each other, what the rhythm is for foundation row for this 2 high double crochet. Watch me closely. There we go. Yarn over. Only use, here is connected, only use the left thread of this stitch, of the second stitch, pull through and you have 3. Yarn over. Search for the bottom stitch, and under the 2 threads you pull the yarn through to finish this stitch. So under these 2 you finish this stitch. Yarn over, make through 1 is make a new stitch. When you have stitch markers, immediately make a stitch marker in these 2 stitches. Here you see 1, 2, and now we have 3. So make your stitch marker when you want to use stitch markers. So you make another stitch for the bottom, and now we make our stitch for the a 2 high double crochet. So yarn over 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over. Here is connected. Only use the left thread to pull the yarn through. Yarn over. Use the bottom 2 threads. When you have your stitch marker, use your stitch marker. Look. When you have your stitch marker, use your stitch marker to search for the 2 threads you're gonna need. So pull through these 2 threads the yarn to finish the stitch. Pull a yarn through 1 to make a stitch and make your 2 high double crochet. Now I'm not going to use a stitch marker, and let's show you that you can see. Here you have your finished stitch and here you have your wrinkle. So under these 2 threads you're gonna make your finishing stitch for the bottom. Look. Yarn over. Only the left thread you pull the yarn through and have 3. Yarn over. On the bottom only the 2 threads you pull the yarn through to finish the stitch. You pull the yarn through 1 to make a stitch and you make your stitch for row 1. So yarn over 4 times. Yarn over. Only the left one you pull the yarn through is 3. Yarn over. Go to the bottom of your work and you see here again. You see here that you have your V, and here is a wrinkle. So it's not finished yet. You're going to use these 2 to finish the stitch for the bottom. So there you go. A yarn over. Here you see the wrinkle. So under the 2 loops, you're going to pull the yarn through, is finish the stitch. Only pull the yarn through 1 is make a new stitch and make the stitch for row 1. Yarn over 4 times. Yarn over. Only the left one is 3. Yarn over. On the bottom, finish the stitch, make a stitch and pull the yarn 4 times to make the 2 double crochet, 2 high double crochet. Only the left one is 3. Yarn over is 4. On the bottom, finish the stitch, make a new stitch. I have 5 loops on my hook and make the 2 high double crochet. And the difference between the treble crochet and the double treble crochet and the 2 high double crochet is that these stitches are connected. Look closely, all is connected and make stick to each other. And a 2 high double crochet of a treble crochet and a double treble crochet is a 1, 2, 3. Make on the bottom your stitch, make a new stitch, and we make a treble crochet or a double treble crochet. Look, a treble crochet is not connected. Wait a moment. There we go. A double crochet is not connected. It's standing alone on his own. And that's the beauty of a 2 high double crochet. You make 2 double crochet, treble crochet in one time, and they are all connected and make a steady base for your crochet work. So that's the difference with this new stitch I learned. And the original stitch was like this, double yarn over. Through 2 loops here on the front, they pull the yarn through, and then they make our double 2 high double crochet. So it's different than what we make because they use 2 threads, but it's not beautiful connected like what I do. So that's what I saw, and I make it my own by yarn over. Only use this one, yarn over, make the bottom finished, make a new one and make your 2 high double crochet. Yarn over, only the left one, make the bottom finish, make a new one and make your 2 high double crochet. The multiple we need is a multiple of 3. When you crochet like this, it's multiple by 3 for the waffle stitch we're gonna make. Row 1 is the foundation row with the 2 high double crochet. Row 2 is 2 high double crochet front post and back post, and then we're gonna make the waffle stitch. I'm gonna make 15 of them, so I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. When you know how to make it, I see you in row 1. When you want to see again 5 stitches with the foundation row, I'm gonna show you again. Yarn over, only the left one, make the yarn on your hook is 3. Yarn over, on the bottom, only the 2 threads, pull the yarn through is finish the stitch. Yarn over, pull through 1 is make a stitch, and we have our 2 high double crochet. Yarn over, in the left thread we're gonna yarn over is 3. Yarn over, in the bottom, finish the stitch, make a stitch, and make your 2 high double crochet. I have that rhythm in my head because it's a difficult technique we use, and because of the rhythm you can never forget to finish the stitch and make a stitch, so that the bottom is even with the the row 1. Now I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, still 2 to make. And I make a finish, a new one, and our 2 high double crochet, and still 1 to go. Finish the stitch, that's important. Finish the stitch, make a new stitch, and make your stitch for row 1. Here we have 15, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, yep. 15 stitches, and you can use your stitch markers for the stitches below to finish and work them around. But when you look closely to your work, you can see that there's a beautiful V when you finish the stitch. When you don't finish the stitch, you have it like here. It's like a wrinkle. It's like it's not finished yet. It's a bloopy. So that's the difference you see when you finish the stitch and not. What I like about the foundation row, it's flexible, it's even, it's you don't need a bigger hook than your original crochet work. So I use an 8mm hook for the bottom, and I use this crochet hook 8mm also for the rest of my work. So you don't need a bigger hook or something else. It's even and stretchy and flexible, and in the same stitch as that you work your other stitches. So that's what I like about a foundation row. We go to row 1 for foundation row front post and back post stitches. So there we go. There we go for our front post 2 high double crochet and our back post 2 high double crochet. It's different than what you learned because I invented this stitch myself. I didn't see anyone who crocheted this before, but maybe there's someone, but I didn't see it. I like this stitch very much because you crochet one time a stitch and it's this big, because then your crochet work is hurrying up when you are crocheting. So that's why I like this stitch much. We're gonna make back post 2 high double crochet and front post double crochet. So I figured out how to make the stitch. Here we go. Turn your work, and for the first stitch we first make in this first stitch, no, not a chain one, but we make how you call it in American, a single crochet, or in English a double crochet in the first stitch. So in this first stitch we're gonna chain turn our work, and in the first stitch we make a single crochet, double crochet in English, in our first stitch. So that's one. Then we crochet 3 chains above, and the third chain I make a little bit loose so I can make a stitch marker, and it's the back row of our work, the back end. This is the front and this is the back of our crochet work. So I use my pinky stitch marker to know that I'm in the back of my crochet work. And it's important for the waffle stitch hereafter that we know what is front and what is back. So that's why I used 2 different colors. For the front I used blue, and for the back I used my pinky stitch marker. Now we're gonna make our front post 2 high double crochet and our back post 2 high double crochet, and it's a little bit different than you are used to, so watch closely. I will say it very slow so you can see what I'm doing. Yarn over. We make our single crochet, double crochet in the first stitch. Above that we make a chain of 3. In the first chain we only use the left the left thread to insert our hook and connect the first stitch with the second stitch. So only the left thread of the first chain from 3. We pull the yarn through and put it on our hook is 3. Yarn over. And we're going to use these stitches, these one, and insert the hook around the first double crochet, treble crochet, and the second double crochet, treble crochet. And I used the American and English names. We call it stokje, and in American it's double crochet, and in English it's treble crochet. Dus we're going to use these 2 because we have 1, 2 double crochet, treble crochets on each other, and we're going to use these to make our front post 2 high double crochet. So there we go. You have yarned over, you have 4 on your hook. We're going to use this first double crochet, treble crochet to put the hook in front, and around that first double crochet, treble crochet, pull the yarn around that double crochet, treble crochet, and put it on your hook. Now you have 5 on your hook. Yarn over, and again on the second, I call it stitch because when I always say double crochet, treble crochet, it become difficult. So I call this double crochet, treble crochet a stitch. Okay, so we're gonna put the hook on the second stitch, around that second stitch, pull it up, pull the yarn under this stitch, under this double crochet, treble crochet, and now you have 7 stitches on your hook. You must have 7 because we must yarn over 6 times through 2 loops. So there we go, yarn over through 2 loops 1, yarn over through 2 loops 2, yarn over 3, yarn over 4, yarn over 5, yarn over 6. So you have your front post 2 high double crochet. Now I'm explain that you must insert your hook on the back side around this, and you call it in American double crochet, in England treble crochet, and I'm call it around this stitch because when I say all these terms after each other, it's gonna be confusing. So now I'm call it's around the stitch, around here, around the double crochet or treble crochet is 1, and around the second double crochet, treble crochet is 2. So now I'm going to show you how to make a back post 2 high double crochet. Yarn over. Here you see the connection between the first stitch and the second stitch, and in this one there is also a left thread, and we only going to use that left thread to insert the hook on the left thread, pull the yarn through is 3. Yarn over, and now we're gonna make a back post 2 high double crochet, and it's look like this. Insert your hook around the first stitch and pull the yarn around that stitch. I see a hair, so I'm gonna remove it. Yarn over, and again for the second time you see here your second stitch. Pull the yarn through around that stitch, pull the yarn through and put that yarn around your hook. My yarn is not working with me, so around that stitch, pull the yarn through around that stitch, and you have 7 on your hook. Pull the yarn through 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now you have your back post 2 high double crochet. Important to know is that you yarn over, make your stitch, yarn over, make your stitch, yarn over, make your stitch, and that's how you come to 7. When you have 6, probably you forgot to yarn over, pull the yarn through this stitch, yarn over, and we're going to make a front post 2 high double crochet. So you're going to insert your hook on the front side around the stitch, pull the yarn around that stitch to pull it up to the front, yarn over again, put your hook around the second stitch and pull the yarn through, and now you have 7 on your hook. And we're gonna make our front post stitch to pull the yarn through 2 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And you have your front post 2 high double crochet. And the difference is with other stitches, it's all connected on the upper side. You see here you have your front post, but here the one is connected with the other, and here is connected with the other. And every time you see the connection, there's always that left thread you're gonna use to pull the yarn through. I love this stitch very much. Yarn over, pull your yarn through the left thread, yarn over. We're going to make a back post 2 high double crochet. So when you see your stitch, you're going to see here 1 and 2, and you insert your hook in these holes around the stitches so you can make your back post. You're going on the back, we're going to insert the hook on the other side around the stitch, push it backwards, pull the yarn through and put it on your hook. Yarn over again with the second stitch, put your hook on around the stitch, pull the yarn through and put it on your hook. Now you have 7 on your hook, and that's correct because we're gonna put the yarn 6 times through 2. So 1 times through 2, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now you have front post and back post stitches next to each other. Beautiful, isn't it? Again, yarn over, pull the yarn through the left thread, yarn over, and we're going to make our front post stitches. So we insert the hook in the front of our work around the stitch, pull the yarn around that stitch and put it on your hook is 5. Yarn over, again, put your hook on front around the stitch, pull the yarn around the stitch, and then we're gonna make our front post stitch by pulling the yarn through 2 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For the front post 2 high double crochet and the back post 2 high double crochet, you're gonna need always 6 times pull the yarn through 2. So that's what you can remember when you make the waffle stitch lately. The normal 2 high double crochet is 4. The front post, or the front post 2 high double crochet is 6. So you always have to you always must have 6 times pull the yarn through 2. Again, yarn over. Only the left one. This is connected, so there's the left one, the left thread. Pull the yarn through that left one and put it on your hook is 3. Yarn over. We're gonna make a back post 2 high double crochet, so insert the hook on the other side, on the back side, around the stitch. Pull the yarn around the stitch and put it on your hook is 5. Yarn over. Put your hook on the back side around the stitch. Pull the yarn through and you have 7. And now pull the yarn through 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And finish all your work on your own when you know the stitch. When you don't know, we're gonna make the other stitches. Yarn over. I make one around the left thread of the stitch. Then we make our front post. So we insert the hook around the stitch 1 time. We insert the hook on the front 2nd time, and we make our front post 2 high double crochet by making 6 times our loop to 2. Yarn over. Pull the loop through 1 thread and back post double crochet, 2 high double crochet. So insert hook on the back side around the stitch 1 time, on the back side around the stitch the 2nd time, and I am in war with my yarn, and then 6 times through 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Yarn over. Only the left thread, pull the yarn through. Front post stitch, dus we make the insert the hook on the front side around the stitch 1, on the front side around the stitch 2, and pull the yarn through 2 6 times. 3, 4, 5 and 6. Yarn over. Make your 3rd chain. On the back side, insert your hook around the stitch once. Yarn over around the stitch for the 2nd time. And we have 7 on our hook, and make our 6 times pull through. Yarn over. Only the left one, pull the yarn through is 3. We make our front post, so in the front I go around the stitch once, I go around the stitch for the 2nd time, have 7 on my hook and make our front post stitch. Yarn over, only 1, insert the hook, and that's 3. We make our back post, so yarn over on the back around the stitch once, on the back around the stitch for the 2nd time. We have 7 on our hook and pull the yarn through 2 6 times. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Yarn over, only the left one I pull through. Make a front post stitch, so insert the hook on the front of your work 1 time, 2 times, and I insert the hook 6 times around 2, through 2 eigenlijk. And 4, 5 and 6. For our last stitch, we're gonna make a normal 2 high double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook on the 3rd on the left thread is 3. Yarn over, take your stitch marker or your stitch on the hook, and under 2 loops you're gonna pull the yarn through and make a normal 2 high double crochet is pull the loop through 2 4 times. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is how we make the front post and back post 2 high double crochet. Now we go for the waffle stitch. Row 1 for the waffle stitch. There we go for our first row for the waffle stitch, and it's again turn over your work, and you can turn over like this that the yarn is behind, or you're gonna turn over like this and the yarn is for. It's no difference for the stitch. So when you have it on the front of you, you insert your hook under the 2 loops and make your single crochet or double crochet. In English, in American it's single crochet, in English it's double crochet. So you make your double crochet and chain 3. When you have the yarn on the back side, it's even. You pull the yarn, put your hook under the 2 threads of the first stitch, pull the yarn and make your single crochet or double crochet on the first stitch and chain 3. 1, 2, and the third chain you will make loose, because when you go back you have a beautiful stitch to work into for the last stitch of row 2 of the waffle stitch. So I insert my blue stitch marker and let it here. It's gonna stay here forever when I want. So I have my stitch marker. Now we're gonna make the waffle stitch, and the waffle stitch for the good side of your work is 1 front post 2 high double crochet, 2 times a 2 high double crochet, and repeat that until you're on the end. So there we go. Yarn over. We see we have made a single crochet, or in English a double crochet, and chain 3. In the chain 1 from 3 we only use the left thread from the chain. It's a V, and only the left one of the V we're gonna use. It's the connection from one to another stitch. So yarn over. You have here your single crochet, here you see the first chain of 3, and only the left one, the left thread, you pull the yarn through and put it on your hook. You have 3. We make a front post 2 high double crochet, so yarn over, and we're gonna use this stitch to put the stitch in front. So you put your hook on front of the stitch, around the stitch, put the stitch in front of you, pull the yarn through and put it on your hook. Is 5. Yarn over. In the second one, you can here see the second one, you put your hook around the second stitch, pull the yarn under this stitch, so you push the stitch in front, and now you have 7 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you have 6 or 5, maybe you forgot to yarn over. It's each time yarn over, make your stitch, yarn over, make your stitch, yarn over, make your stitch, and that's how you get 7 loops on your hook. Now we make our front post 2 high double crochet, to yarn over, pull through 2 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now we make 2 normal 2 high double crochets, and it's going like this. Yarn over. You see here the connected stitch. On the left side you only use 1 thread to pull the yarn through, is 3. Yarn over. Here you see the 2 stitches we're going to use to make 2 normal 2 high double crochet. Here you see the stitch. Here are the 2 threads on top of the stitch. This is where you insert your hook, pull the yarn through under these 2 threads and put it on your hook. Now you have 5 on your hook, and you pull 4 times your yarn through 2. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. You have made your 2 high double crochet. Yarn over. Here's the connection. There's the left thread, so you pull the yarn under the left thread, yarn over. Here's the second stitch we're going to use. Under 2 loops, you're going to pull the yarn and make your 2 high double crochet. So that's 2. So we have our front post and 2 normal 2 high double crochet. Now we're going to make again a 2 high double crochet front post stitch. So yarn over, here's the connection, there's the left stitch, you're going to pull the yarn through is 3, yarn over, and we're going to use this stitch to make a front post 2 high double crochet. So insert your hook around the first stitch and pull the yarn through, yarn over, again the second stitch, put your hook on and pull it around the stitch, pull the yarn under, and you have 7 loops on your hook. Pull the yarn through 6 times, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You made your first waffle stitch because you have your front post, 2 normal and a front post, and that makes the waffle stitch on the front side. There we go. Yarn over, here is the connection, there's the other thread, so insert your hook around only 1 thread and pull the yarn through is 3. A yarn over, we're going to use these 2 stitches to make our normal 2 high double crochet and pull the yarn through 2 4 times. So that's your first 2 high double crochet. Yarn over, put your hook only on the left, this is the connection, this is the left one, only pull the yarn through only 1, yarn over, the next stitch, on the 2 threads you pull the yarn and pull through 2 4 times, 1, 2, 3 and 4. You make your normal 2 high double crochet. It's look like this. Then again we make a front post 2 high double crochet, so yarn over, here's the connection, you put the yarn through the only 1 thread is 3, yarn over, and again put your hook around the first stitch and pull the yarn through, yarn over, and use the second stitch around to pull the yarn, and you have 7 loops on your hook. Insert your hook and pull the loop through 6 times, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. You make your front post 2 high double crochet. Again make 2 normal 2 high double crochet, so yarn over, here's the connection, there's the left thread we're going to use, so pull the yarn through, yarn over, use this stitch, only the 2 threads on top of the stitch, you pull the yarn through and pull through 2 4 times, 2, 3 and 4, yarn over, only the left one and is 3, yarn over, make only the top of your stitch and pull through 2 4 times and you have your 2 high double crochet. Now we're gonna make our front post 2 high double crochet, so yarn over, here's the connection, here's the left one, so put the yarn through only the left one, yarn over, put your hook around the first stitch and pull the yarn through, yarn over, put your hook around the second stitch, pull the yarn through, you have 7 on your hook and 6 times to make the front post 2 high double crochet. And here is your third waffle stitch, 1, 2 and 3. Beautiful, isn't it? Again, the last one we're gonna make, yarn over, pull through only the left one is 3, yarn over, we're gonna make a normal 2 high double crochet, so insert your hook around under the 2 threads and pull the yarn through, and 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, only the left one is 3, yarn over, on top of the stitch on the 2 threads, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Our last front post double crochet, so 2 high double crochet, yarn over, pull the loop through only one thread is 3, yarn over, we're gonna insert the hook around stitch 1 and pull yarn through is 5, yarn over, put your hook around stitch 2 is pull the yarn is 7, and 6 times to make our front post 2 high double crochet. And to finish this row, we're going to use the last stitch to make a normal 2 high double crochet. So yarn over, pull through only one thread, the third loop, yarn over. You can see you have your stitch marker, or look for the third chain. Under 2 loops, you insert your hook under 2 loops. I have only one now, so look for the other one, because then you can have a straight edge on the side. When you use 2 threads, you can make a beautiful straight edge, and you're gonna make 4 times to make your 2 high double crochet. Here you have your first row of the waffle stitch. Beautiful, isn't it? In the next rows you're gonna more see the waffle stitch, because now you have your front and back post double crochets, and the waffle stitch is not already shown. In the next rows you're gonna see beautiful the waffle stitch in your crochet work. So we're gonna go for row 2, the back side of the waffle stitch. Now we're gonna make the row 2 for our waffle stitch. I'm gonna make this stitch marker out of my work so I can use it again for the back side of my work. Again, turn your work. It's no difference if you turn like this and the yarn is behind your work, or you turn like this and the yarn is in front of your work. I prefer this one, that it's on the back side of my work, and I make in American language a single crochet, in English a double crochet in the first stitch. So I don't chain 1, I make a single crochet, double crochet in the first stitch and chain 3, 1, 2, and the third chain I make some loose, because I want to work in that stitch on the end of the other row. So there's my third chain. For the back side of our waffle stitch, you can see here that you have an here is the front post 2 high double crochet on the other side, and it's in the back of your work. Here you see it's in the back. So here we make a normal 2 high double crochet. Here you see that the crochet is in front of you, and in these two we make a front post 2 high double crochet. So we only used front post 2 high double crochet in this work, and a normal 2 high double crochet. So there we go. For the back side we're gonna make yarn over. You have your single crochet or double crochet in the first stitch, and then we have chain 3. In the first chain you only use the left thread to pull the yarn through, and we have 3 on our hook. Now we're going to make a normal 2 high double crochet in this stitch that was on the other side of front post, and we make a normal 2 high double crochet. So insert your hook under the 2 threads and pull the yarn through. We have 5 on our hook, and we make 4 times. I'll pull through 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have make our 2 high double crochet for the first stitch. Now we're going to make 2 front posts 2 high double crochet in this stitch. So there we go. Yarn over. In the third, in this chain is connected, and in the left thread we're gonna pull the yarn through, and it's 3. Yarn over. Put your hook around the first stitch and pull the yarn through. Yarn over. Put your hook around the second stitch and pull the yarn through. Is 7 on your hook, and you make 6 times your pull through 2 for making your front post 2 high double crochet. And you make 2 of them after each other. So yarn over, pull your yarn through the left thread of the connected stitch, then insert your hook around the yarn over again, don't forget, yarn over around your first stitch, pull the yarn through is 5, yarn over around the second stitch, pull the yarn through is 7, and we pull the yarn through 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, yarn over, in the connected stitch only the left one we pull the yarn through, and make a normal 2 high double crochet. You can see here, you see the stitch is behind this stitch. So here we're going to make a normal 2 high double crochet. Here you see the 2 stitches on front of you. There you make the front post 2 high double crochet. So you make 2 of them after each other and then 1 normal. You can see it on your crochet work which one needs to be a front post 2 high double crochet, because you have already here your front stitch. Here you see the stitch is behind, then you know, oh, it's behind, so I make a normal 2 high double crochet. That's the waffle stitch. So we're going to make a 2 high double crochet. We have 4 on our hook, so the only thing I need to do is under these 2 threads pull the yarn through and pull the loop through 4 times. 1, 2, 3 and 4. I make a normal stitch. So you're going to see here that front post 2 high double crochet on the back side is 2 times after each other. I will show you in my work. It's beautiful in the work, you see. On the front of your work you see your waffle. It's 2 normal, 1 front post. 2 normal, 1 front post. That's why you get your waffle stitch. On the back side of your work you're gonna see the 2 front post, 1 normal. 2 front post, 1 normal, and the front post here is making the waffle on this side. So that's how you can recognize the back side of your work and the front side of your work, that the front post is making here the waffle and here the front post is making the inside of the waffle. So that's the difference between the 2 sides, that here you make 2 normal 2 high double crochets, here you make 2 front post double crochets. Beautiful stitch, and when you know the rhythm it's easy to crochet. So on the back side now we see we have 1 normal 2 high double crochet, 2 front post 2 high double crochet, 1 normal. So now I see here the 2 chains on here on front, so I must make 2 front post 2 high double crochet. Yarn over, pull the loop through the left one of the connected stitch, yarn over, put your hook around stitch 1 and pull the yarn under, yarn over, put your hook around the second stitch, pull the yarn under, and 6 times pull your yarn through 2. 3, 4, 5, 6 is the front post 2 high double crochet. Again, yarn over. This is the connected stitch, so on the left side you pull the yarn through is 3 and make a front post. So insert your hook around the stitch, pull the yarn through, yarn over, put your hook around the stitch, pull the yarn under, and we have 6 times our front post 2 high double crochet. So we make 2 front post high double crochet and now make a normal 2 high double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook in the left thread of the stitch, connected stitch, yarn over, make your 2 high double crochet. Now I'm gonna show you without telling, because my English is maybe annoying to hear. So here we go. Yarn over, We have made 2 front post 2 high double crochet, so now we make a normal 2 high double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook is 3, around the stitch is 5, around the second stitch is 7, pull the loop 6 times. 3, 4, 5, 6. In the connected stitch on the left side, pull the yarn through only 1. Around the first stitch is 5, around the second stitch is 7, and 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the connected stitch only on the left side. Make a normal 2 high. And in the end of our row, you're gonna see here you see your stitch, and here there's a bigger stitch, so you're gonna use these two to make your normal 2 high double crochet, and again make a 2 high double crochet in the last stitch, and that's where you put your stitch marker or your yarn in the 2 threads here on the sides. You're gonna see beautiful your stitch. That's where you're gonna insert your hook under the 2 threads. So there's 2 threads on top of your crochet hook. I'm gonna show you. You have 2 threads on top of your work, 1, 2, and 1 under your crochet hook, and that's gonna make your beautiful straight edge to make this connection in the stitch from the row before. And you have your 2 high double crochet. This is the back side of your work. I'm gonna make my stitch marker. So this is how your back work of your waffle stitch looks like. 2 front post 2 high double crochet, 1 2 high double crochet is in the back side of your work. In front it's look like this. Here you see the normal waffle stitch has a little edge, but now with the 2 high double crochet you get a big edge, and then again you make your waffle stitch. So now I'm gonna make a tutorial, and you can repeat that tutorial. It's for the front and the back, and I make 1 tutorial for front and back of the waffle stitch. So when you put your work aside and you're gonna make another row in several weeks after, you can always check on the repeat tutorial, so you can crochet again your waffle stitch. Beautiful, isn't it? I love it, this stitch. So we're gonna go for the repeat. And there we are to repeat the first and second row of the waffle stitch. So I'm turning my work, make a single or double crochet in the first stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, and the third one is a little bit loose, so I can easily find that stitch in the row back. Insert my stitch marker and leave it there. And we're gonna make in this row our front post 2 high double crochet, 2 normal 2 high double crochet, a front post 2 high double crochet, 2 normal, and you can see here a front post and 2 normal, our front post and 2 normal. So yarn over. The first stitch we only use the left one to insert your yarn, to pull through the yarn, is 3. Yarn over, put your hook around the first stitch and pull the yarn through, is 5. Yarn over, put your hook around the second stitch, put the yarn or pull the yarn through and put it on your hook is 7, and 6 times 2 through for front post 2 high double crochet. Then we make 2 normal, so only use the left one of the connected stitch to insert the hook and put it on your hook is 3, yarn over, put your hook around the 2 threads on top of the stitch and make your 2 high double crochet. Again, make your stitches and 2 high double crochet in the second stitch. And we must make our front post 2 high double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook in the only the left one is 3, yarn over, put your hook around stitch 1 is 5, yarn over, put your hook around the second stitch, pull the yarn through is 7, and 6 times to make our front post 2 high double crochet. 2 normal 2 high double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So insert your hook, pull through 4 times and make your stitch. Again, make your 2 high double crochet in the next stitch. And we make our front post, so yarn over, in the left one make our third stitch around the first stitch and pull the yarn through, around the second stitch and pull the yarn through. We have 7 on our hook and make our front post 2 high double crochet. So this tour is front post 2 high double crochet, 2 normal 2 high double crochet. So now we're gonna make 2 normal 2 high double crochet, 1, and that's 2, and we make our front post. So yarn over, in the left one is 3, around stitch 1 is 5, around stitch 2 is 7, and pull the yarn 6 times to make the front post 2 high double crochet. Again, 2 normal 2 high double crochet, and a front post 2 high double crochet. So around the first stitch, around the second stitch, 6 times through 2 makes the front post 2 high double crochet. In the end you have only 1 stitch left, and make a normal 2 high double crochet and connect it with the third chain of the hook, and you have inserted your stitch marker or a piece of yarn. Make your connection to the edge to make a straight edge, and that's your front row. Beautiful, the waffle stitch with 1 front post to normal. Turn your work, and make my stitch marker. In the first stitch we make a single crochet, or for English, double crochet in the first stitch. Make chain of 3, and the third one is loose, so I can make my last stitch easily in the next row. For this row we make 1 normal 2 high double crochet, 2 front post 2 high double crochet. So first we begin with our normal. In the first chain, only the left one, we make our third loop, yarn over, and we make our normal single 2 high double crochet, and then we make 2 times our front post 2 high double crochet to make the inside of the next waffle stitch. 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. It was half English, half Dutch. Yarn over and make your next front post 2 high double crochet, with 7 threads on your hook and through 2 6 times to make your front post 2 high double crochet, and the next stitch will be a normal 2 high double crochet. You can see it in your work that you must make a normal one because it's below, it's behind the stitch, so you must make a normal one. Here you see the front, so you must make a front post 2 high double crochet. Easy to see what you must make in the back side of your work. So we make our front post 2 high double crochet one time, 3 4 5 6. We make another front post 2 high double crochet for the second time, and we make one normal 2 high double crochet in the next stitch, 4 5 and 6, and make a normal one in the next stitch. And then you see in your work the 2 stitches are in front of you, so make 2 front post 2 high double crochet stitches in the next 2 stitches. So 1 in the first, 3 4 5 6, and a second front post 2 high double crochet in the next. And a normal 2 high double crochet. And the last one for me with 15 stitches is the front post 2 high double crochet, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and the second one the front post 2 high double crochet around the first stitch, around the second stitch, and 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and we make 2 normal 2 high double crochets in this row, because this one is to close the waffle stitch, and this one, the 2 high double crochet, is to make a beautiful edge. And again, 2 threads on the upper side of your crochet hook. And that's why I make a loose chain, because when you crochet, the third chain always gets smaller. So when you begin small, it's such a little stitch, and now when I make a loose chain, it's easier to get into your stitch. 2 on the upper side, 1 on the downside of your crochet hook, and make a beautiful straight edge for your waffle stitch. And now you see the beautiful waffle stitch in your work. I really love it. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial in my broken English. I wish you good luck, and when you want to show your work, you always can put your photo in an email to info@haakwerkje.nl. That's my website, www.haakwerkje.nl. And I also have a Facebook group, and it's called Haakwerkje. It's a Dutch group, but you are welcome as English member. It's free. So when you like it, become a member of Facebook group Haakwerkje. And I really love to see your work for the 2 high double crochet waffle stitch. I really love this stitch. Have a nice day. Friendly greetings from the Netherlands, from Wendy Rademaker. And I hope to see you in one of my other tutorials. Bye bye.